It's Yerushalmi Peah Daf Nun Hey, and we got up to the Mishnah Halacha Hey, and that in the Vilna is on Lamed Rav Halacha Hey, last halacha on the page. Omer Sheish B'Sayim, Omer, which is double the size of Omer. It's two saw. Shachar, you forgot Eoshicha. Says the Pnei Moshe. Could the Darish B'Gemara? Is it like the Gemara saying Shachar Omer B'Sadeh? V'lo Teshuv L'Kachto. If you got a bundle in the field, don't go back to take it. Omer Shatayachol L'Shot Yerchav L'Itzlo. It will tell you about an Omer where you can extend your hand and take it. Yatsa Sheish B'Kusosai, as opposed to one which is so large the time. Shiyat Yachol L'Itlo B'Yadcha Kulo Kachas. You can't carry it in your hand all at one time. Gamliel. If you have two Omorim and there's a sign among them, so then in that case, Rabbi Gamliel Mel Ba'abais, so Gamliel says it still goes to Ba'abos, and the Chachamim Le'anim, Chachamim goes to the poor people. Amar Gamliel says, I understand. Why should it go to? Why should it be shikha? Chimerov amrim yofi kodesh babais or roko kodesh babais. If you have more amorim, is it better for the babais? Where's the babais? Of course, it's better for the babais. If you get up to 3, it's super better because then he gets to keep them. So they said yofi kocho. You're right. The more amorim there are, the more his authority, the less it is actually capable of becoming shikha. Amar said, "Mine, but manchu omer echad both sides." So it said, if a time when it's one omer, which is double the size, ain't a shikha. It's not shikha shnei omerim, but emsasayim was double the indemnity. I guess first it is 2 saw, and also it's 2 amorim. Ain't no din shlo shikha. It's not kavachom shim be shikha. Amar said the Chacham said to him, no, im omer borma echad shu kikadish. He said, but one omer, which is as large as a pile, that's different. Tomar, can you say the same thing where they remain bundles? So, no, there's no comparison. A starting patch of the field with still standing grain, which is the size of a sasayim. The shokhan, you forget it, and a shikha. It's not going to say forgetfulness. In other words, it's too chashuv, too large to be considered to be forgotten. Aim Basasayim, what if it has no Sasayim? In other words, there aren't 2 whatever saw of grain growing at the moment. I realize Sasayim. That's because it's bad luck. But it really could make a Sasayim. Afilu Shel Tofach, even if the Sasayim it can make is of Tofach, which I believe is a form of animal fodder. No, it's a type of bean. Rash says it's a small type of bean with thin types of seeds. So even if the barley, which you want, would have made a sign if it was a good year, but it's a famine year or a lack of rain, and therefore the barley is very thin. It's only the size of this tofach bean. So it's not. If it's suitable to make a sosayim, even though it made very little, only made tofach. We see it as if it's a full cluster of barley, and it saves that entire area. Abelazar said, when you harvest, you're harvesting your field. If you got a bundle in the field, and Omer, where you can extend your hand and reach it, so then it doesn't fall to category lo toshuv l'kachto. Don't go back naked, because still take it without going back, and therefore it's not shikha. Is tani tani. Shachach the omer v'lo gadish. If you forgot an omer, it's shikha. Now if you forgot a gadish, now if you forgot a pile. Hechavida. How does it work? And Pnei Moshe says, don't think it's going in the last case. It's a separate question. Definitely this Omer, vis-a-vis itself, it's like a Gadish, that's not Shikha. Kiko mi boilan, Omer betzido, if you have one of these gargantuan sized Omorim, you have a normal Omer next to it, which you also forgot, is that considered to be forgetfulness, or does it come in um, together together with the larger pile, and therefore it's not shikha. Um, Omer, if you're going to make it, you're going to make it like the let's see, we say that the large pile is only considered to be a gadish vis-a-vis itself. I mean, Omer Shabbatzir, but relative to the Omer next to it, Mikshavu Kishalom Omer, it's like any other Omer. Rashi imu ko Omer v'lo k'kdish, if it's like an Omer, not like a dish, for this purpose. Im kain, im shal Omer Shabbatzir, lo diva kol v'shikha. If when you got an Omer next to that, certainly shikha, it's part of two, not part of three. V'in tavdinei gadish, if you're going to make the you're going to make the large pile grain of gadish vis-a-vis the normal size bundle. Machlokas beishami beisil. It's machlokas and beishami beisil. So if they Moshe, come on, oh, dimly and zeh nami kagadish cheshbinlei. Vashchocha omer shebetzido. If you've got the omer next to a gadish, it's tied machlokas beishami beisil. It depends on machlokas beishami beisil, which are previously the pliel ba'omer shu samach legap of a gadish, where you have an omer which is next to that uncemented wall, or this pile grain. Beishami havish ein a shicha. According to beishami, it's not shicha. Beisil shikha, according to Beisil, it is shikha. Okay, so that's intamnei omer machlos b'sham Beisil. Intamnei gadish. If on the other hand, you make it a gadish, it can't be part and parcel of a row. If you're trying to form a row in a perpendicular direction or additional row in that same direction, if it's a gadish, it's not part of the row of amorim. It stands by itself. So if it's like an omer, if it's the other amorim, you can mitzaref it to making a new direction of a row. But if it's a gadish, right? That's not can't be part of a row. It's sui generis, I think is the term. In other words, it transcends those parameters. Amar Rabbi said, when you harvest your harvest field and you forget a sheaf in your field, Omer sheish b'asayim shechol, it's Omer which has asayim, you forgot it, ain't a shicha, it's not shicha. Kama sheish b'asayim shechol, if you have a standing grain, which they harvested as asayim, and you forgot it, ain't a shicha, it's not shicha as well. Rabbi Yosef said, "Bilvad shibolin." So specifically, if it is stalks. The stalks, the so as usual, Gavin Huck here is very, very useful because this is actually a new statement. So there's the previous statement. It was Amr Amina Kisad Tzirah V'Sadcha Shatam V'Sadcha Amr Sheish B'Sasayim Shchal Eina Shicha Kama Sheish B'Sasayim Ushchachacha Eina Shicha. Period. Okay. The now Amr Rabbi Yosef said about the barley which is stricken because there's a famine or something, and it's the barley kernels the size of a bean. So nevertheless, it's considered not to be shil. If it's worthy of making two, if it's suitable to make two saw in a different year. It's even not making the two saw this year. It's still not shikha, and Rabbi Yosef Bashban has to be stalks. If it never made stalks, then it can't be considered. It's well. The way the Kavanaki says it means don't think we're talking about beans literally, which are for legumes, but we're talking about a grain, and even if it's means to say, even if its kernels are as small as small beans, we look at it as if its stalks are full of thick kernels, like the kernels of healthy barley. And as it says here again, as long as they're stalks, in other words, as long as it's grain. Rukos, if they're thin, we see them as if they're long. Shtufos, if they are blighted, we see them as if they are full. Halachavav. Hakama tells Omer v'Sakama. Standing grain saves the Omer. Saves which you didn't forget. Saves the sheaf which is next to it, and saves also standing grain which is next to it, which you have already forgotten. Homer ain't matzil, but a bundle. Which you didn't forget, can't save neither the similar Omer nor the standing grain. Says Omer, what comma can save the Omer? What grain which is standing can save a sheaf? Anything which is not forgotten, even if it's even only one stalk. If you have base assignment is obviously significant, as we said, and it doesn't become leket. But what if one saw is already uprooted from the ground, and one saw is still connected to the ground? You have one saw fruit which is connected to the ground, directly to the tree, and one is off the tree. Vashum, same with garlic, and onions, and the saw which is already off the ground is not mitzvah, but the saw which is still in the ground. Yossi Mer, no. All these things are mitzdaref. The only thing which is not mitzdaref is in between the Tvua Akura and Tush Enakura, there's a place where the Oni has already been able to collect leket. He's established a presence, so to speak, between the two of them. So then not mitzdarfin. If not, harei mitzdarfin. They are mitzdarf even if one is akur and one is not akur. Okay, that is the Mishnah. Let's go a little bit further here. The Gemara says, it is a very difficult Gemara. I'm not so happy with any of the pshatim I said here. So we're going to go with the Gra interpretation here. Amar Rebbe. So, Rebbe said, when you harvest in the field, and you forget an omer in the field. Omer is vos of kotzir. When you have an omer surrounded with kotzir, then that's considered to be a shicha. The omer is supposed to come, and not omer which is surrounded by standing grain. Then it's not shicha. Okay, so now the Gemara asked, that was easy. Now comes the hard part. So now Gemara says, Lama omer shivosav omorin. Why, if you have a bundle you forgot amongst other bundles, it's considered to be a shicha? Why don't we say that the Omer, which is around it, and I guess obviously it's not a case where you can say it's mitzvah to a different row for whatever reason. Why don't we say that the Omer around it, save it, right? Why, just like we say the Kamas around it saves it, why not the Omorin around it save it, right? Loma Omer should also Omorin. Let's say that the Omer, which is surrounded by a Morin, is what saves it. Omer is also kama, not an Omer which is surrounded by kama. So no. And here's a cute chap. Omer shivosab omorin. If you have an Omer surrounded by other Omorin, so mashatachtav sadeh. So that it's still a sadeh, right? It's kitzircha b'sadecha, because it's and with katzir it's a field which is harvested, because the Omorim are not shacked to the ground. But whereas Omer Shavos of Kama, if you have an Omer surrounded by Kama, Mashatacht of Kashin. What's underneath, obviously it's under what's underneath the Kama. The straw is still standing there, holding up the stalks of grain. But the point is, it's not Kitzircha B'Sodecha. It's not considered Kitzircha B'Sodecha because there is the stalks are still connected to the ground. So in the pasuk, we're not just looking at ketzircha, but ketzircha b'sadecha. That's how we're learning it out. That's why it's specifically an omer which has around the kama is the same, because that's not ketzircha b'sadecha. But an omer which is around it, other omorim, it is ketzircha b'sadecha because the omorim are no longer part of the field. So therefore, the field is harvested. That meets the parameter of katzircha b'sadecha, which is basically more or less, I think, where the Gra learns it. He doesn't say in so many words, but I think that's the pshat.